There are many things needed in order for you to be an effective reporter. You need to be naturally curious. You need to be nosy. Me personally, I would never make it as a beat reporter or some gossip columnist because I have no interest in other people's business. I don't ask many questions because I don't like it when people ask me questions. You also need to be a talented writer. Most people don't realize that writing is actually a talent. It is incredibly difficult to write something that holds people's attention for more than 60, 90 seconds. People will ask me all the time why I write out my videos instead of just going off the cuff. And I do go off the cuff some of the time, but I put all of my thoughts on paper so I have a reference point. Otherwise, I would just be sitting here rambling about things that don't matter and lose your attention. There are many other requirements needed in order to be an effective reporter, but you have to have one thing above everything else. You could be the most talented writer, you could be nosier than Perez Hilton, but if you don't have the respect of the people that you're covering, you will be completely useless. During the 93 NBA playoffs, Michael Jordan refused to speak with the media. Now, this was during their series with the Knicks when the gambling allegations had just surfaced. He would only speak to one reporter, Ahmad Rashad. Why? Because he respected him. When you're a beat reporter responsible for covering one team, it is bad enough to lose the respect of one player. But when you lose the respect of the entire locker room, the entire team, you're in deep shit. That's exactly what seems to be happening with Jenna Laine. Earlier this week, we talked about what happened in the Tampa Bay locker room between Giovani Bernard and Jenna Laine. The miscommunication on the botched fake punt was the turning point in the Bucs' loss on Sunday to the Bengals. Jenna Laine, she was going into clout withdrawals. Her name hadn't been mentioned in the mainstream since she was humiliated by Todd Bowles back in October. Giovani Bernard was the fix that she needed to ease the pain. In the Bucs locker room after the game, several people reported seeing a flashy ghost-like figure. It was Jenna Laine chasing Giovani Bernard. She was running after him faster than the fat kid runs to the buffet to grab the last piece of cake. Now, just in case you missed it, here is the exchange between the two. Roll the film.
See, I'll talk to you this week.
Well, you were injured all year.
What have you done for us to talk to you about all year? I talked to you Tuesday. Don't say you're not talking because I didn't talk to you all year.
You were also injured most of the season too.
Just relax. Can I go to my family that I have outside? And
You
all
can.
of a sudden now?
Just don't say we didn't talk to you all year.
We just wanted to ask for your perspective on what happened
You're
there.
involved in one of the biggest plays of the game.
Okay.
Thank you, Jude.
I appreciate
That's
your
all.
time, we do.
We won't hold you.
We would have talked to you in the season, but also you were
let's ask
injured.
questions.
Just tell us what occurred on the punt.
Miscommunication, that's all it was on my part. I take complete fault for that.
Was it a fake?
I don't know. It was complete fault. My fault. That's it.
Is this something the team hasn't practiced
It's
this
all
week?
me. All me. That's something I did wrong, and that's all.
So you
It
were
was all
aware?
on me. Yep, number 25 out there, that was me. I was the one that did it.
But were you aware
It
that
was
it was
just
a
me.
fake?
Yeah, I messed up.
I understand that, but we're just asking if you knew it was
I
coming.
We
messed
just
up.
didn't know if it was a communication
Yeah, I
breakdown.
messed up.
Thanks, Jude.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so no one was fooled by this. Everyone saw this for what it was, a young reporter desperate for fame and notoriety who doesn't want to achieve her dream the right way by paying her dues and putting in hard work. Jenna Laine would rather publicly humiliate someone stepping over them to reach the pot of golden cucumbers on the other side. Now, Jenna Laine was craving attention. That is exactly what she got. Her media career has been beaten harder than Shay Shay at the Buck Bongo Festival. Kevin Durant, Von Miller, numerous athletes, dozens of reporters and media outlets, all coming to the defense of Giovani Bernard. Even the wanker spankers on Twitter took a much-needed break to express their disgust towards Jenna Laine and her actions. Yesterday, reporters were back inside the Bucs locker room to interview players and coaches about the game this week. Now, this is customary. Wednesday is typically the day teams allow the media to speak with coaches and players. Jenna Laine, she is at the locker of Bucs cornerback Carlton Davis, asking him about the challenges they faced this week. Now, this was a football-related question, had nothing to do with this bullshit or any challenges off the field. She needs questions like this answered so she can meet her deadline. She's got to write something. In order for her to write, she has to have content material. In order to have content, she needs cooperation from the players. Listen to how Carlton Davis responds to her question. Roll the film.
Can you talk about the unique challenges these particular skilled players bring?
There was an incident with Giovani Bernard, and as a team, we just feel as if, the people who are supposed to be on our side should be on our side, and because it happens to him, we understand that it can happen to any one of us. So right now we just feel, that it's a sensitive subject to talk about when, we do talk to you guys, and how vulnerable we can be at times. So, I don't want to shy nobody out, but it's just a respect thing, like I respect you doing your job, you respect me doing my job, and yeah.
So you heard him say it. This is a respect thing. If you respect me doing my job, I'll respect you doing yours. Once that respect is lost, why the fuck would I help you? Now that doesn't mean Jenna Laine has to lie and pretend everything's going well in Tampa. But like I said the other day, there's a right way and a wrong way to treat people. If you're going to disrespect me or one of my teammates, why would I help you? Why would I give you material so you can do your job? Now, it would be one thing if this were the first time Jenna Laine tried to use the Bucs to boost her own personal platform, but it wasn't. We talked the other day again about the incident with Todd Bowles back in October, where Jenna Laine tried to turn their game against the Steelers into a sign of progress in the war against mythical racism. But you just knew. You just knew. With the amount of public backlash she was receiving, ESPN would force Jenna Laine to apologize. Now, to be fair, that's speculation on my part, but I know how ESPN operates. This company is incredibly sensitive to the feelings of the shitfucks on woke Twitter. We ended up receiving the forced apology from Jenna Laine late Wednesday night. Check it out for yourself. I'm really trying to be nice here since, it's Christmas. When people apologize, I want to believe they're sincere. I want to take them at their word. But in order for me to do that, I need to see accountability, which is clearly missing in this apology from Jenna Laine. For starters, she starts out by saying our interaction with Giovani, lumping other members of the media into her bullshit. This ain't about them. It's about you. You uploaded this video. You included the side note, knowing in advance that what you were doing was fucked up. But you did it anyway. She then absolves herself by claiming this was not meant to be a gotcha moment. In other words, she wasn't chasing clout. Except, that's exactly what this was. You knew exactly what you were doing. You tried to publicly humiliate someone to further your own career. I would have actually respected Jenna Laine had she just admitted to it. Instead, she continues thinking we're stupid. I thought it was interesting. Jenna Laine claims to humanize the people she covers. I don't remember you trying to humanize Todd Bowles. Matter of fact, you tried to dehumanize him by making their game against the Steelers all about his race. Now, do I believe Jenna Laine is sorry? Yeah, sure. Do I think she would be sorry had there not been so much public backlash? No. If this story had received the same amount of coverage the incident with Todd Bowles did from October, Jenna Laine would not be apologizing. She knows she's in deep shit. She knows she's lost the respect of the Bucs locker room. Jenna Laine spent the better part of 4 days this week trying to defend her actions. She gets frozen out of the locker room in Tampa. All of a sudden, it's, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. Hopefully, Jenna Laine is able to learn from this. It would be one thing, like I said, if this was the first time something like this happened. But this is the second incident in 2 months. I'm sure if I did some digging, we could find others. But anyway, all right, just a reminder. Taking off the next 2 days. Hope you guys have a great Christmas. We will be back to our regular schedule on Monday. Hoping to be in my new studio setup before the end of the year. After we leave my parents on Sunday, we're going to start hanging these thick-ass theater curtains in there, which will hopefully remove the echo. It has been an unbelievable year here on the channel. Over 9 million views, added 27,000 new subscribers, almost 100 million impressions, 550,000 likes, almost 250,000 comments. I was looking at predictions the other day. If the channel keeps growing at this pace, by this time next year, we should have between 120 and 150,000 subscribers. I never thought I would reach 40,000, much less 120. I feel so incredibly blessed to be able to do this for a living. You can really surprise yourself with what you're able to accomplish when your back is against the wall and you feel like you've got nothing to lose. When I quit my job, people thought I was crazy. My parents were extremely worried, as they should have been. When I walked out of the office on June 30th, 2021, this channel had a little over 2,000 subscribers. On a good month, I would reach 100,000 views. I think my biggest YouTube check up to that point was $250, maybe $300, but I didn't care. I was so tired of being miserable. I was so tired of waking up every morning, giving away 9-10 hours of my life to people who didn't appreciate my time. And look, it wasn't their responsibility to care. Their job was to make as much money for themselves and pay their employees the least amount possible. Trust me, they were really good at their job. But it didn't matter if they paid me $200,000 a year. There was not enough money in the world to convince me to stay. I'd had enough. I had reached a point where I was done giving my time to someone else. I was done leaving work on Friday afternoon, already dreading going back on Monday morning. I remember one morning, I was driving into work. Rush hour traffic was backed up because of a wreck on the interstate. Ended up being about 30 minutes late to the office. No big deal, right? My boss lived 3 hours away. Other people made it to the office before me. No harm, no foul. I get this call from my boss that morning, and he is absolutely furious. Now, he wasn't mad that I was late. He was pissed off because I didn't tell him I was late. I was on salary. What did it matter? Now, to be fair, he was just doing his job. He said something to me on the phone that day that I've never forgotten. He said, "I need to know where you are every minute of every day." It was one of countless pivotal moments that pushed me out the door. I actually appreciate him for it looking back at it now. Now, I know I've said a lot of negative things about my previous employer in the past here on the channel, but it wasn't them. It was me. I was never good at taking direction. I was never good at taking orders. I didn't like the term boss. I didn't like someone thinking they had power over me. I didn't like someone else controlling my income. Earlier this week, this channel generated more revenue in 24 hours than they used to pay me in a week. I don't give a shit about the money. The money is nice, don't get me wrong, but I've never cared about money. I just wanted enough to live comfortably. I've always cared about my time, my freedom. I can't tell you guys enough how much I appreciate you allowing me to live my dream. You have given me the lifestyle I used to dream about. I used to lay in bed at night reciting one line from an Eminem song. The song was 8 Mile, and yeah, obviously it's from the movie. Lose Yourself is the song that gets all the recognition, but 8 Mile is one of the best songs Eminem ever made, extremely underappreciated. But there's one line in the song where he says, "Please, I'm begging you, God, don't let me be pigeonholed in no regular job." I used to lay in bed and that line would play over and over and over in my head. I appreciate all of you guys for making that dream a reality. I would not be able to do this without your support. You guys show up every fucking day in the comments section. Some of you have been with me for 2 years, some 2 months, some just a couple of days. No matter how long you've been with me, you continue to show up every day. Those 100 million impressions I got from YouTube, those came from you. I don't get 100 million impressions. I don't get 9 million views without the activity from all of you. I kept waiting for things to slow down. Last year during the holidays, it was a struggle. This year, it just never seemed to slow down. Now, sure, the growth eased up a bit, but the views, the impressions, they have remained steady. Again, I appreciate you. And while I'm at it, got to thank my girlfriend as well. She is responsible for this setup. She's responsible for the new setup I'm moving into. She's the one who found the echo curtains they use in theaters. Outside of this channel, I'm completely useless. I procrastinate. I put things off to the last minute. My accountant, she stays mad at me because I'm unorganized and wait until April 14th to give her my records, which are never well put together. My girlfriend is the complete opposite. She's the one that keeps this ship afloat. She keeps my paperwork in order. She does it all. All I do is press record. 2022, though. 2022 was a great year, probably the best year of my life. I think 2023 will be even better. So I hope you guys have a great Christmas. I will see you on Monday.